Hello, guys. I am delighted to welcome you, as always, back to our lesson today. So, today we are going to consider digraph. Digraph, as you can see on your screen, introduction to the Urhobo language digraph. Not just any digraph, but Urhobo language digraph. But first of all, what is a digraph? Well, a digraph is a combination of two letters that produce a sound. These two letters, when you combine them, they produce just one sound. That is the meaning of digraph. So today I'm going to walk you through the common digraph that we have in Urhobo language and how they are pronounced. The first digraph we consider is the digraph ROH, as you can see on your screen. So this digraph is achieved by rolling your tongue. The ROH digraph you can see on your screen is achieved by rolling your tongue, something like this. You can hear me as I'm rolling my tongue. That is how you achieve the pronunciation of that ROH digraph. Let's see an example to properly understand what we are trying to say here. Now we have a word on our screen there that contains the ROH digraph. So how would you go about pronouncing this word since it contains the ROH digraph? Remember, when pronouncing this ROH digraph, you need to roll your tongue. So this word will now sound something like onre, onre, onre. You can hear me as I'm rolling my tongue when I come across that ROH digraph. Onre, onre. That is how it is pronounced. But supposing you wanted to say onre, but you couldn't roll your tongue, or you did not roll your tongue when you come across the ROH digraph, and you said something like onre. Are you correct? Of course not. Absolutely not. Because the two words are very different. The other one contains the ROH digraph, and this one does not, though they sound similar. That is the importance of the ROH digraph in Urhobo language, because the first one, onre, onre, it means smell in Urhobo. But this one that does not contain the ROH digraph, which is pronounced as onre, it means sun, sun. So you can see the role the ROH digraph plays in Urhobo language. So onre is smell. That onre contains the ROH digraph. Why this one onre does not contain the ROH digraph, and this one means sun. So if you wanted to say onre, then you said onre, you are not correct because you will mix up the words altogether. Another important diagram that we are going to consider is the VW diagram, as you can see on your screen. You can achieve this diagram by trying to squeeze air through your lips, like you want to blow whistle. When you try to squeeze air through your lips, something like the sound does not come from your vocal cords, rather it comes from within your lips. Let's see an example so that you can properly understand what you are trying to say. The example we have here is aware, aware. You can hear how I'm pronouncing the VW diagram when I come across the VW diagram in the aware there. Aware, aware. It's like I'm trying to squeeze air through my lips. Aware. It does not come from my vocal cord, the VW diagram, as I've said before. So supposing you wanted to say aware, then you said aware, aware instead of aware. Though they sound very similar, but they are not really the same. You can see from your screen there, aware and aware, they are not the same thing. So if you wanted to say aware, then you pronounce the other word there. How are you going to pronounce it? That word is ahware, not aware, ahware. Aware means me and you. Aware that contains the VW diagram means us, all of us. We, that's what it means. But the ahware means history in the past. Things that are related to things that are passed before, in the past. That's what ahware means. So we should take note of that VW diagram in words and in when we are speaking too. Let's see another example. The example we have here is a name, and it is pronounced as kewe, kewe, kewe. You can hear how I'm pronouncing it when I come across the VW digraph. It is kewe, not kewe. It is not kewe. It is kewe, kewe. Though they sound very similar, but it's not the same. Just listen to how I'm pronouncing it. Remember, when you're pronouncing the VW digraph, it does not come from your vocal cord. It comes from within your lips, like you are trying to squeeze air through your lips. So it is kewe, 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 not kewe. It is not kewe. It is kewe, kewe. That is how it is pronounced. Now let's move on to another example of the digraphs in Urhobo language. The next digraph on your screen there is the PH digraph. Most times in English language, when we want to pronounce this PH digraph, we usually pronounce it as the letter F. It gives us the letter F pronunciation. For example, in the word physics, the PH digraph is the two letters that begins the word physics. But pronouncing Urhobo digraph using the PH digraph, pronunciation is quite different. It gives us a similar sound like the VW digraph that we've considered before. But this one is also slightly different from the VW digraph. Though this one, when you want to pronounce it, you pronounce it as if you are also trying to squeeze air through your lips, but the pronunciation is quite different. Let's see some example to properly understand. The example we have here is afofo, afofo, fofofo. Here as I'm pronouncing the PH digraph, afofo, afofo. So that is how you achieve the pronunciation of the PH digraph in Urhobo language. It is not afofo, not afofo. As I've said before, pronouncing the PH digraph is different from how we pronounce it in English language. Not afofo. You don't pronounce it as the letter F in Urhobo language when pronouncing the PH digraph. Rather, it's different. You pronounce it as if you are trying to squeeze air through your lips. It sounds similar to the VW digraph that we've considered before. So this word here is afufu, 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 not afufu, not afufu. It is afufu. The next one that we are going to consider now is not really a digraph, rather it is a trigraph. It's three letters, so it's a trigraph. But since we don't have plenty of trigraph in Urhobo language, we are going to group it under the digraph in Urhobo language. So this one can be achieved when you pronounce it like you want to throw up. That sound that you make when you want to throw up. That's the sound it gives you when you want to pronounce the GHW digraph, trigraph rather, in Urhobo language. That is the sound it gives you. Let's see some examples. The example here is wo wo, wo wo. You can hear the sound as I'm pronouncing it. Wo wo, wo wo wo, wo wo, wo wo means to announce. Wo wo is to announce. So that is the sound that it gives you when you are pronouncing the GHW trigraph. Up next is the SH digraph. This one is practically very easy because it is pronounced the same way it would be pronounced in English language. So we are all familiar with this one. It gives us this sound, sh, sh. That's the sound it gives us when we want to pronounce this SH digraph. Now let's see some examples. The example we have here is osho, osho. Osho means fear. You can hear the sh digraph in the word osho, osho. Shh. You can hear it there. So this one is very, very easy. Now let's move on to the next digraph that we have. The next one on your screen there is the CH digraph. Sometimes in some words in English language, the SH digraph and the CH digraph, they are pronounced the same way. But this one is different in Urhobo language. The SH and CH are never pronounced in the same way. They can never give you, this CH can never give you the SH sound. So this CH is not pronounced as she. Rather, it is pronounced as ch, 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 ch. Not sh, sh, sh. It is ch, 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 ch. Not sh, sh. Let's see some examples to see what we mean by this. The example here now contains the CH digraph. And as we said before, it is ch, ch. It gives us that sound. Ch, ch. That's the sound it gives us. Not sh, sh. So how would you pronounce this word? The word now will now be pronounced as ochuko. You can hear the ch, 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 ch sound. Ochuko. It does not give you the sh sound. It is ch. So it is Ochuko, not Oshuko. Ochuko. Ochuko is a name and it means helper. But if you say Oshuko instead of Ochuko, Oshuko is cup seller, someone who is selling cup. And that one is not a name. It is Ochuko. That is the correct pronunciation. Ochuko, not Oshuko. It is Ochuko. Ochuko. You can listen to me to really get how it is pronounced properly. Ochuko. Ochuko. Not shishi. It is Ochuko. The next digraph that we will consider now is the NY digraph. This digraph is achieved by pressing the ridge of your tongue against your upper mouth, against the palate of your upper mouth. When you press the ridge of your tongue against your upper mouth, you can achieve it. So it will give you the sound like this. Like as if the air passage is blocked by the ridge of your tongue. And as a result, you can't breathe in from your mouth. Instead, you have to breathe in or breathe out through your nose. That's the sound it produces. Let's see some examples to properly understand this. The example on our screen there is enya, enya. You can hear as I'm pronouncing the NY digraph there. Enya, enya, enya. Enya means spit in Urhobo language. Enya, enya, it means spit. Please pay proper attention to how I'm pronouncing it. It is not Eyao, not Eya. Eya means women, not Eya. It is Enya, Enya. It's a combination of the N and Y that gives you that sound. And I've already told you how you can achieve that. The list of the digraph in Urhobo goes on and on. I will drop a table that will list some of the digraph that we have so that you can practice the rest by yourself. Alright, so the following is the list of the diagraph that we have in Urhobo language, some of which we've already considered. So the first one there, we've considered it before, and it is the ROH digraph. It is pronounced as by rolling your tongue. We have examples there. So the first example we have there is onre. Second one is rere. The third one is raro. The last one is a name, maro. It is not maro. It is maro. It's a name. The one that follows is the GB digraph. It is pronounced as B. That's the sound it gives you. So I have examples there. Okugbe. You can hear the B sound. The other one is ogbegbe. Ogbegbe. Then the third one, we've considered it before. The CH digraph. The example we have there is ochuko. The other one is chochon. The number 4 digraph is DJ. DJ is pronounced as G. We have examples there. The first example is juge. Second one that follow is ogaga. The 5th digraph there is SH digraph, which is also considered. Have osho in the example there, and oshare also in the example. The 6th one is the VW digraph, which is considered before. We have examples there. Mame, kewe, and wede. 7th one is the GH digraph. It's that's how it is pronounced. I have example there, and the example is aroro. You can hear the sound as I'm pronouncing it. Aroro. The 8th one there is the GH trigraph, which we have also considered. And the example there is awogo. The 9th one there is the KP digraph. The example we have there is okpokpo. This one is very, very easy. We have similar ones in English language too. So it's okpokpo in the example. The 10th one is the HW digraph. HW digraph is pronounced as you can hear me as I'm doing the sound in my mouth. The example we have there is ohwahwa. You can hear the sound as I'm pronouncing the HW digraph there. The 11th one is the PH digraph, which we've considered before. It's the example we have there is fofo, not fofo, is fofo, to blow something, to blow hair into something, fofo. The 12th one there is the NY digraph that we also considered. Is the ni that we consider the other time. So these are some of the lists of the digraph we have in Urhobo.